I'm Ty Segall.
So it's Segall. I thought it was Segall.
It's Segall, yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. See, I've
There you
learned
go.
something right out the gate.
There it is, yeah. Is Les short for anything? I mean, yeah. Or is it just
That would
Les?
be that would be Leslie Edward Claypool.
Leslie. Nice.
Leslie, not Leslie.
Okay,
That's the way
Leslie.
the Australians say it. Hey, Les. How's it going, Les? Somebody's parked a wiener truck in my spot.
Leslie.
Yeah, I was named after my Italian grandfather, 34 years old when I was born, so he was not real thrilled that his 17-year-old daughter had a baby boy, so they named me after him so he wouldn't, smack me or two for the road on consequence. Boom. Well, we're in the midst of rehearsing with our brand spanking shiny new drummer that we scoured the universe for.
How's that? It's been fun.
Yeah, he's amazing. It's really been a breath of fresh air. It's been whatever metaphor you want to use. It's really blown some life into this old barnacle ridden ship. Um, so yeah, he's great. It's really really fun to play with. He's got an amazing feel, very tasteful, super nice guy. It's exciting. So
Cool. And you guys did that expansive search.
Interstellar search.
Interstellar search, yeah. How
Yes.
long how long was that process?
That's a good question. I don't know. It was a few months, but there was over 6,100 applicants, and
Wow.
Larry Lalonde watched most of them. Tim Sawyer watched all of them, and I watched the ones that those guys filtered through. So,
Yeah.
um, but it was pretty amazing. I don't. Did you watch any of those
I
YouTubes?
watched a couple, yeah. It seemed really fun and a cool thing to do, just jamming with people. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, all of them. There was not a single one that was a letdown. They were all really spectacular players. They're just all very different from each other. The crazy thing was that, you know, poor Lur during this whole time was his house had just burned down. He was trying to find a place to live, and it was just he's Lur's one of these guys, as you'll see when you meet him. He's literally one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet. Just a nice, positive, funny guy, and you could just tell he was. I would have been curled up in a ball in the corner, and he just was working his way through it and
Yeah, it's
cracking jokes.
brutal. It's brutal. Where was his house? In the
Palisades.
He was in the Palisades, yeah.
He lost over. It seems like for a while there, every day to go, oh shit, I forgot about that one. It got up to like 54 guitars or something like that he lost.
Ugh,
Yeah,
it's so brutal.
it was brutal. But yeah, so it was a odd subtext to have going on during this. But I think if you ask him, he'll tell you it was a great distraction for him to have to come down and play with all these drummers and meet different people, and so I think it was actually very therapeutic for him.
Yeah, I think that like whenever something's going on, to be able to play a little bit, if you can handle it, then it's always a good thing. Just not just sitting around and not knowing what to do is pretty brutal, I think. So that's cool. You guys were playing.
Yep, and we found somebody. So,
Yeah.
did you watch the last episode?
I watched like three of them. I don't think I watched the last one.
If you watch the last one, I tell everybody this, and nobody has yet to to win my challenge. If you can watch the last episode, the final episode, which is an hour long, the other one's about 20 minutes. If you can watch the final episode and not tear up, I'll give you $100.
Okay. All right. I got some time before the tour starts. I've never done anything like that. The crew that I play with, it's like very, like friends of friends or really old friends of mine. Like at a certain point, you know, two out of the four people in my band, two out of the other three people were people I went to high school with, up until like a year and a half ago. And so now Michael is the only one that I went to high school with, but it's like Emmett and Ben I've been playing with for, almost 10 years, and Evan the same, but it's just, yeah, it's pretty friends of friends or people that I've been close to. I would love to branch out and play with some people that aren't in kind of the circle of people, the usual suspects, but no, I've never done that. I've never gone to just an open audition or anything like that. I don't really think would have anything that anybody would want. I think my thing is too specific. Like I'm not the guy you call up to play guitar on your record unless it's a specific thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's how I feel.
Huh, it's interesting. Well, I mean, it's not like Primus is you know, Primus is a pretty acquired taste, as are the musicians that play in the band. But I mean, we've always had, whenever, this is the third time that Tim Alexander has left the band um, over the years, and we've always had somebody in the wings. We always like, oh, well, we're gonna get this guy then. Oh, we're gonna get that guy. Whereas this time we just didn't have that. Uh,
Yeah.
so we just opened the floodgates, and it was amazing.
No, it seems really cool. I mean, I would love to do something like that at some point for something. That sounds fun. It
Yeah,
sounds like a really cool way to meet a bunch of people and jam,
that's
you know?
interesting. It's interesting to see what's out there, especially when you get to be an old codger like me. I'm caught up in my ways, and I have my circle of friends that I've been playing with forever, and my favorites that I go to guys and whatnot and gals. Um, so it was an interesting and refreshing new thing for us as well.
Yeah, and drummers too. I mean, they change
Well,
everything about the band.
you know Lonnie Marshall. I don't know if you know Lonnie Marshall.
I don't
Great bass
know.
player, amazing bass player. He had a band called Weapon of Choice. He was he's kind of part of the whole Fishbone P-Funk thing down in LA. Great guy. His brother Arik used to play with the Chili Peppers for a while, but he always told me, he's like, Les, drummer rhymes with bummer. So I tend to
Yeah.
quote him often.
Well, I mean, every band, it's such a cliche, but it's like the drummer makes the band. Really, really does. Obviously everybody else does too, but the feel of the drummer, it can change everything. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
very true.
Maybe the most important part, I think.
I don't know.
Sorry for us, the other guys in the band, but
Damn bass players.
I, it's damn guitar players, man. What the hell? Actually, a couple people when they saw we were going on tour, I think the way it got like worded on my post or something, they texted me like, "Dude, are you playing drums for Primus?" I was like, "No."
You supposed to tell them yes. Of course.
Well,
Hell,
if you need a shaker or a tambourine for a moment,
you do the egg
just
shaker?
let
I'm
me
a
know.
big fan of the egg shaker.
I'm the egg shaker and the like bell pepper shaker.
Bell pepper. Woo! I haven't even heard of that one.
Oh yeah, that one's the best. And then those little tiny ones that you can put on your fingers. Have you seen those?
Dude,
There's
I'm,
like,
I'm I'm gonna haul you up on stage for some of this.
oh yeah, man. If you need a shaker, man,
It's a
I'm your guy.
Ty Segall Master Shaker.
I mean, I can play a mean shaker. A lot of the records I've produced for people, it's like, they're calling in the secret shaker man. Get up from behind the board. So are you guys in? I'm assuming you sold your bus, right? I heard that. Did you
Um,
sell it?
I sold a bus.
You sold a bus, and you have another one.
I have a new one. So we started off years ago. My wife said years ago, she said, "Look, once the kids move out, I'm coming on the road with you." And I said, "Okay," because she was like class mom, like 8 years in a row. She was just, her whole world was the kids. And then we have this winery, so she runs that. But I said, "Okay." And so I bought an old tour bus years ago named La Fonda. It was a 40-foot Prevost, brown Prevost. And we still have her. She's parked at the winery. And we ran her for a while, but it kind of got outdated on the old school. I don't know if you know much about motors, but it has an old 8V92 Detroit, and you just can't get parts for them. Nobody knows how to work on them. So we got a newer one, which was Large Marge. And so we ran Large Marge for a handful of years. And so we just sold Large Marge, and now we have our first male bus, which is Nandor. Nandor.
Nandor. Nice. Nice. That's cool. Must be rad to have a bus you can like that's part of the family, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, I don't like staying in hotels. I just don't like it. So,
I mean, there are people that are bus people and people that are hotel van people. Like half my band's split. I'm a bus guy. I think it's the secret weapon to touring. You wake up in the place, you're playing. I bring my bike. I bike around, go get a salad, read a book. It's awesome. The
yeah,
van, I'm like, you're just in the van the
yeah.
whole time. And you're staying in a hotel and blah blah blah. But some people can't sleep on the bus. So,
Yeah, Lair Lalonde's like that, but he likes hotels. He'll be out there. He's a big bike rider. Like he rides like he'll ride like 40 miles on a day off, easy, no problem. He just
uh,
rides trail, or he'll go running. He runs like 10, 12 miles. I don't. I have my electric bike. I go to campgrounds. I got my fishing pole holder on the back of my bike. I go taking off. I find a fishing hole. That's what I do.
nice. Fishing on the day off
Oh yeah.
or day of show even.
There's a well, a lot of these venues, there's usually a pond or something around it. So I'll go hit the pond.
I've been really wanting to get into fishing. I used to live in Topanga. I don't know if you've been to Topanga.
Yeah.
Um, and for years I was just like, the pier is right down there. I need to start fishing. I never did it. Yeah, it's a regret. I used to go down to the Dana Point Wharf and get like a line and some, a weird little hook or and something and go catch crabs when I was like 9,
Uh-huh.
but that's it for me.
That's
Spear fishing? Have you done spear fishing?
No, I don't do the spearfishing. That's just I live where there's big giant sharks, and I've fished out on the ocean for many many years, and I usually see a big shark once every other year. And I'm in the boat. I don't surf. I have a lot of surfer buddies. I'm not getting in. I'm not into the shark thing.
Yeah.
And spearfishing, you're just putting on cologne of dead fish. So I have in my bus, I have probably 6 fishing poles, some fly rods, some bass rods, surf rods. So I'm set for everything.
Damn. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into it one of these days.
All right. Well, maybe I'll drag you out there and see,
Oh, please.
hone your skills.
I will embarrass myself definitely, but that's
As
that's
long as you don't
part
hook,
of
you don't hook anybody.
yeah, I might. I hope not.
So where did you grow up?
I was born in Palo Alto and I lived in Campbell and Los Gatos and Palo Alto until I was 5, and then I moved to Glendale, and I went to kindergarten at Glendale, and then I went to Manhattan for a year, and then we ended up in Orange County. So I moved to Laguna Beach in the 2nd grade,
Huh.
and I grew up there. So, you know, surfer, small town, surfing town.
Yeah, my son went to college in Laguna Beach. He went to LCAT.
At the art school. Nice. That's a cool school.
He had a cool little house the whole time he was down there, right on the main drag that comes in. He was living behind this guy's place that was a glass blower. He was like a local famous glass blower surfer
Yeah.
guy. And it's just this crappy little reminded me of my first apartments in Berkeley and whatnot. Just this crappy little place, dingy little place, and him and 2 other guys were crammed in, and he just had the time of his life.
Yeah. It's a cool town, It's a little stuffy. It's a little uptight, but
Really?
it yeah, it's just got getting more and more uptight, but it's got really cool weirdo history, lots of art, you know, a lot of like there's like the Brotherhood of Eternal Love and Timothy Leary stuff from there and a lot of weird countercultural stuff, but that was all a long time ago. So now it's like they even outlawed skateboarding for a second and stuff. It's just kind of
Really?
it's a little wacky, but it's still beautiful and cool, and there's still some weirdos there, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I went to the what is it when they reenact a painting
Oh,
with
look, I got a shirt on.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh
The
yeah.
Pageant of the Masters.
Love it. Yeah, we went. It was they did some Norman Rockwell paintings, which was pretty cool. So
It's a weird thing, right? Isn't it
yeah,
bizarre?
it was very cool. I was pleasantly surprised how interesting it was.
Have you seen that Arrested Development where they
No,
reference it?
no, really?
It's ridiculous. I think that's how most people know about that thing is because of that show.
There's the little exhibit with all the what the hell do they call it? Where that one spot where you go and there's all the different booths and it's all like
Yeah,
wood shavings and stuff.
the Sawdust Festival.
Sawdust Festival, yeah.
Yeah, I worked there in high school for a second.
Huh.
Yeah,
So I guess my son's landlord was one of the guys in the big glass blowing booths that would blow all
okay,
crazy glass.
cool. Yeah, yeah. I sold someone's wares. I don't paintings, and I just like listened to the Who all day when I was 14. It was
Yeah.
there you go. So wait, where exactly are you living now?
I'm in West Sonoma County. So you ever see Alfred Hitchcock The Birds?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I keep my boat out in Bodega Bay, which is where
I
that
love I love Bodega Bay. It's great.
yeah, so I'm inland from there, but we also have a little place there that we go stay now and again. Best chowder in the country. I try clam chowder everywhere I go. And my favorite chowder in the country is in Bodega Bay.
So you're a chowder man.
I like my chowder.
Are you a Manhattan chowder fan?
Well, so generally I'm a New England chowder fan, but at I go to Spud Point Crab Company and there's always a line. It's like freaking Indiana Jones ride. There's just always a line to get chowder there. And but I do the 50-50. You ever do that?
50-50? No.
Yeah, man.
That's wild.
Yeah, you do Manhattan, half New England, and it's like a creamy tomato sauce after that.
Whoa.
It's so good.
Okay. That's like Christmas style enchiladas.
For me, you either have to just completely bend it out of shape or you have to nail it perfectly. There's no in between. In between tends to be, I don't know, it brings out the hecklers. I mean, we get the hecklers regardless. We get the, the critiques, but I don't know. It just depends on the song. I mean, I'm fortunately or unfortunately blessed with a voice that is not overly pleasant to a lot of people. So some songs I just can't sing. So I gotta do them my way, and which usually means we end up twisting them up. So when we did the Primus and the Chocolate Factory, which was from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, we twisted everything up, and it was really cool and dark and creepy, and I very much enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. I think it's gotta be weird. Gotta flip it upside down. Rarely a straight ahead cover is the way to go.
Yeah,
You gotta make it your own, especially when you're doing classic stuff where it's like, what's the point? This is a classic song. Everybody loves the original. We should basically rewrite it is the idea. So yeah.
yeah, and except we covered we did a whole tour of Tribute to Kings, which was we played Rush's Farewell to Kings in its entirety, and we had to get we had to get it note for note.
That'd be insane to do that. I didn't know you guys did that. That sounds intense.
It was an insane amount of work. It was crazy. And then to play it in Toronto with Getty and Alex sitting on the side of the stage was pretty incredible moment.
Wow.
But
Yeah, what's the bass player scene like? Like the legendary bass player scene? Like who is I don't know. That's yeah, I don't really know a lot of like legendary people. So
what
I
do you mean?
feel like for you, just saying that like they came to your show is insane to me. That's so cool. I don't
Well,
know.
we toured with those guys in the early 90s. We did like 3 or 4 tours and just became really good friends with them. And it was kind of the one thing that all three of us back in the day bonded on because all three of us had varied musical tastes. But we all, when we were in high school, listened to Rush, you know.
Yeah.
And so when we got a chance to play with them, we were all geeking out. And then they just turned out to be literally some of the nicest guys in the world. So um, they've just remained friends. You know, I'm in a band with Stuart Copeland, which is pretty unbelievable, and he's one of my best friends. He's an amazing guy and big old goof. But yeah, it's interesting when uh, having those kinds of relationships.
Yeah. No, it's wild. Yeah, it's cool. I've met a lot of people and are friends with a lot of people that I never thought I would get to meet, and I have endless respect for, You see someone like Joanna Newsom, right, play and she's like from a different planet, and then you go see her backstage and she's just a total sweet dork, and you're like, "Oh, wow, this is crazy." So, yeah, it's to- totally. I just can't imagine being like, "Hey, I'm gonna cover, you know, Red by King Crimson, and those dudes are gonna show up to the show or something," is insane, you
Well, I
know?
mean, it's not like
But you guys were friends, so that
we're
makes
hanging
sense.
out with the guys from Aerosmith or what. You know, it's like Primus is still a very, very eclectic, you know, hard, not the easiest pill to swallow for most people. So, um, but what did you just say? You called her a sweet dork? Is that what you said? What did you say?
Yeah, yeah,
So I that's that to me. If the world was run by sweet dorks, we'd be in a much better place. And that's sort of the people that do come around the our world, my world, or the Primus world, or whatever. It's I mean, I'm friends with Adrian Blue. Why am I friends with Adrian Blue? Because we respect each other, and he's one of my all-time favorite guitar players. Whereas, I don't really, hang out with the guy from Boston. Not that, you know. It's not like I didn't even own a Boston record back in the day, but I respect them. But that's not who flocks in our circle. I've been listening to your new record, and I think it's great.
Oh,
So
thanks.
uh, I'm very excited to see you perform those songs.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, what are you guys gonna be playing? What's the set list, man?
It changes every night. I mean, that's our thing. It's
That's
all
great.
that's poor Hoffer, our new drummer. He's learned a shitload of songs, and he's got a shitload more to learn. So um, we
Yeah, how
just did
many
this.
songs do you guys learn for the tour?
Well, I mean, we have a pretty big catalog, and people want to hear. And now with Hoffer too, because he's not one of the three drummers that recorded these songs over the years. He's not precious with any of it. He's like, oh, I want to play that one. I want to play that one. It's not like, oh, well, that's not my song. I don't want to play it. Not that anybody's ever said that, but you definitely, you know, you can get
Sure.
the vibe sometimes. Um, so we're going to be dipping into some stuff that we haven't played live in a long time, if not ever. But then again, we're going to play a lot of the stuff that's this standard, comfortable Primus stuff. We do a lot of improv, just because it keeps it fun for us. We did the Sasanta tour recently with for Maynard's birthday, which is amazing, but we kind of had to stick to the certain songs because everything was very, um, the bands were interacting, and you'd play a few songs and play some songs with these guys. It was much more of a show, whereas our thing is much looser.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we got the fentanyl song, the new tune that we wrote with Hoffer in the episode where he gets the gig. I wrote the song and then we track it on the show. So it's kind of cool. And
Oh,
then
that's awesome.
Maynard sings the chorus on it.
That's cool. Was that part of the plan from the jump, was to like try to do a song at the end of the search?
Well, it was more so when they came into audition, they had a handful of songs to choose from and to play. And so we played with them, and then whoever got to the finals, which was ended up being Gurgu Borlai from Hungary and John Hoffman. They had to learn a whole set of songs that we chose, and then I come in on the second day with a song and say, "Here's the song, let's record it," so I could see how we create together.
Yeah.
And
No, yeah.
so we used the song that Offer did with us, and we just released it.
That's a really good part of the audition process. That's smart. I would say that's crucial. Yeah, to see how you guys would be in the studio. Yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't even think of that.
got to do it, man.
Smart. That's smart.
I ain't no dummy. Well, now I nugget hunt more than I fish now, but I can't do that on the road.
Gold nuggets?
Yeah, I bought an old gold mine up in the mountains, and I go up there with my old high school buddy, and we just dig holes and look for nuggets.
Whoa. Awesome.